Good morning, Salaam Alaikum, and Sabah al Khair from sunny Dubai. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive with OA. I am Omar Abedin, and we've been discussing various stages of my career path so far. Today, we are in 2007. So roughly halfway through my journey. This is 17 years in or 16 years in, and I have just finished with an amazing 5.5, 6 years in North America working for Johnson & Johnson Canada and then Novartis Consumer Health in Canadian as well as North American roles. So got the immigration, decided it was time to take a look at Dubai again, and came to Dubai, met a bunch of companies, and was offered a job by a company called IFFCO, which is a massive group from South Asia. They have a whole bunch of fast-moving consumer goods companies, as well as they do a lot of commodities and oil and stuff like that. Edible oil, not petroleum oil. So they have a business in the ice cream industry, and this company is called Unipex Dairy Products. And when I joined them in 2007, they had two brands, London Dairy and Igloo. London Dairy was their premium brand, and it was, stumbling along. It had sales of about $5 million, just over break even in terms of net contribution. Brand was being considered for discontinuation by the company. Their other brand, Igloo, which is a mass brand, was 80% of the business, so about 80 million dirhams, or 20 million, 22 million dollars in revenue, and negative contributions, so loss-making entities. So overall the company was losing money, and the sales were stagnant at about 27 million dollars. The first thing we did was a usage and attitude study to understand the ice cream consumer, the markets, their needs, opportunities. No such research existed in the company, and we completed this in the United Arab Emirates as well as Saudi Arabia, just to understand where we were. And immediately from that, the marketing plan kind of delivered itself. So we're like, okay, so we need innovation. We need our pricing has a challenge. There are other challenges in terms of product distribution, channels, all kinds of things came out, and so we were able to draw a lot of insights from the research. So the first thing we started working on was relaunching London Dairy. So new product, new packaging. So that included the containers themselves. We moved from paper packaging to plastic resealable packaging, quite premium looking, from a supplier in Turkey. And then we worked on new communication through a new brand identity, and shot a new ad showing people getting lost in the experience of having a premium ice cream. And then we got approval for quite a big increase in terms of trade spending. So we, in some of our key accounts, like the Lulus, the Spinneys, Carrefour, and so on, we actually quadrupled our visibility in the shelf, and the packaging went from being white and light blue to dark blue and very visible. The team worked massive hours during the launch week. We were in stores, at 12 p.m. working to improve the visibility and the displays until 6 a.m., which is about the only time the stores actually give you time to work. And then we also started pushing London Dairy into the smaller stores. So we put in freezers and cabinets into the lower end of the trade as well. So really increasing points of distribution along with weighted distribution. And most of all, we took a massive price increase on London Dairy. At that time, Baskin Robbins was at 20 dirhams a litre, and London Dairy was at 12. And there's no way you can convince someone that a product worth 12 dirhams is the same quality as a product worth 20. So overnight we increased the price to 19. We didn't want to be premium to Baskin Robbins, but we wanted to be seen as head to head. Anyway, we did this massive relaunch. People didn't sleep for a week. The team was absolutely phenomenal in the way that we were able to execute this and market across UAE and Saudi, our main markets. But we also did it in Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, and our North American markets and so on. The day after the launch was complete, 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a call from the chairman's office demanding my presence. So when the chairman calls, you go. Was in their office. The company is run, or at that time was run by three brothers from the same family, and all three of them were there, unusually serious and alert. And they said, "Look, what have you done? You have destroyed our brand." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" Because honestly, I was really tired and I wasn't sure I understood them correctly. And they said, "Well, you've taken a price increase of 7 dirhams per liter. The brand is going to die." And I said, "No, it's not. We have research that shows that we have room. There's a great deal of elasticity available, and in fact we know that there's a direct correlation between price and quality in the minds of the consumer." And they said no. And so anyway, I was really tired, so I just put up my hand and I said, "Look, gentlemen, please give me 1 month. 1 month. At the end of the month, if you are not satisfied with the results that we've generated, you will not have to fire me. I will quit." And they all just looked at me and they were like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm really tired. Please excuse me, I need to go sleep." So anyway, I went back home and slept. The results we got in the first month were a volume and value increase of 70% month on month. And this was the peak of summer, remember? So it was June versus July or something like that. So it's not that like we went from off season to peak season something. The bulk of the increase came actually from the price increase we took, but our volume also went up 25, almost 30%. And when those numbers were presented to the board at the end of the month or early the next month, the chairman actually looked over at his finance guy and said, "Are these numbers right? Are these numbers accurate?" And the guy said, "Yes, sir, I've checked that the numbers are accurate. They're not making them up." And from that day, they basically stopped asking me anything. I had an innovation plan that involved launching 40 new products. They said, "Yeah, go for it. You want to make new positioning for Igloo? Yeah, let's do that." So anyway, we ended up relaunching Igloo. Again, very, very large project, massive impact. We launched a family of penguins as the mascots of Igloo. And you know what gives me great pleasure is when I go to the shelf today. I left the company in 2010. It's been 15 years. Nothing has changed on the packaging. Nothing has changed on the product. It's been, that to me is a sign that you did a really good job in terms of the fundamentals of the business, when everything that you did is pretty much there. Nothing has changed. The packaging is the same. Products, some new products have been launched, obviously, because innovation is something we really built into the DNA of the brand. But overall, it looks the same. So the end result was that in 3 years that I was with Unipex, our sales went from 100 million dirhams to 200 million dirhams. But more importantly, our contribution margins on London Dairy went from 8-10% to 55-60%. And at the same time, Igloo, which was at minus 18 or 20, actually became positive. So on the 200 million in revenue, we were generating 50-60 million dirhams in profit, which for that company in a span of 2 to 3 years was unbelievable. And it was so super exciting to be able to help drive this through the process. So who were the key players in this process? The number one person that I have to acknowledge was my CEO, Sudhir Chavan. This man is an ice cream professional from way back. I don't think he has blood in his veins. He has ice cream in his veins. Most calm, most zen, most, down-to-earth person that I've had the pleasure of working with. Completely supported me. He said, Omar, the reason I've hired you is because I want to learn marketing and I think that you will teach me. And I'm so amazed by the fact that when I left, Sudhir and I used to talk about the brand side, the marketing side, like Sudhir was a brand professional. So he was just a phenomenal boss. He enabled everyone around him. His team loved him. And it was just incredibly powerful working with him. And then, we had the sales guys, Manu, Anil, and my marketing team, Deepa. Deepa was the brand manager for London Dairy. Mustafa and Jaya worked on Igloo together. I recruited them both from Pakistan, and they actually moved to Dubai to help us with this. And we had a young intern by the name of Nida. We had a really dynamic team, lots of energy, lots of passion, and a can-do attitude that basically, when there was a big thing happening on London Dairy, the Igloo team pitched in. When something big was happening on Igloo, the London Dairy team helped. It was just, it was a very, very team-focused mentality. Not all the new products we launched worked. Some of them were spectacular. So we licensed the Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, and the Powerpuff Girls from Marvel. And we sold 2 million lollies, ice lollies, in 2 months. And at a price of 2 dirhams versus the normal lolly price of 50 fils. 4 times the revenue for a product that was essentially, ice and coloring and sugar. And that's it. And kids loved it. So, innovation again, right? So during this time, I was, leading marketing for one of the IFFCO group companies. We created a marketing council where the marketing directors of the IFFCO group companies would get together once a month and just, share learnings, share ideas, innovation, opportunities, whatever. And it was great. Just, giving marketing a bit of a platform and visibility within the group. It was a very sales-driven group. So we were trying to swing the pendulum a little bit towards, the center. Along that time, a very significant thing happened. A friend of mine, someone who I'd worked with in the past, actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, listen, have you guys thought about doing a brand equity training for the marketers at IFFCO?" And I said, "Whoa, that's a great idea," because this was a training program that I had been through at Reckitt in the late 90s, in Pakistan. And it was just, it was a phenomenal idea, because the trainer, Daniel Adams, was an absolute guru when it came to brand identity development and, how to build marketing plans. He had a career that spanned 15 years in advertising, and then added 10 years on the brand side. And then he had a consulting career that went on for another 25 years. So, when most people are getting ready to hang up their spurs, he was starting a completely new career. It was absolutely incredible. And, I knew that. So I was like really excited. I was like, yeah, let's get a proposal. So, they gave us a proposal. We took it to the management. And the management said, yeah, so bring in all the marketers for the IFFCO group from all the different countries in which we operate, and let's get everyone on the same page. And so we ran this program. It was a 5-day training program. I ended up co-training with Daniel because, this was something that I was truly passionate about. And, at the end of the training, I asked Dan, "Hey, Dan, do you think I could have a career in training?" And Dan was like, "Omar, you're a natural. You got to do it. This is something that I think you can really do. And I will give you my content. Go ahead and use it, And it was amazing. Now, to get the chance to work with someone like Dan at a point in your life when you're, kind of looking around and thinking, okay, now what? What's next? Launched me into the next phase of my life. The next phase included, the next phase was entrepreneurship. And so you all remember, I don't know how many of you remember, but there was a global meltdown in the financial markets in 2008 in North America. And that hit us here in the Middle East in 2009, 2010. Dubai was a ghost town. Hundreds and thousands of people left their cars under the metro stations and the airport, and they just left the country because they could not afford to stay anymore. It was a debacle, absolute debacle. And at the height of that, in 2010, in March of 2010, I resigned from IFFCO and embarked on my entrepreneurial journey. So if you're interested to hear more about that, stay tuned. Please do like, subscribe, and push the alert button for when we release new videos, because these new videos are coming out twice a week. And things are just getting interesting. Have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.